back to the channel here. Today, I'm going to be recapping this crazy Anaheim 2 Supercross Triple Crown race that just happened over the weekend. If you somehow have not watched the race yet, full spoiler alert. And also, I want to apologize. I did not do a race recap for San Diego. I apologize for that. I don't feel like there was a lot that happened in San Diego, at least. I don't feel like there was enough for me to talk about, sit here and talk about it. So I just decided to skip out that one. And plus, I was really tired because I went to San Diego. And I also went to Anaheim too. So I've been to the first 3 races of the year. And yeah, we're going to talk about Anaheim 2 here. I'm going to touch on San Diego just a bit here because I do have some breaking news from the San Diego Supercross. But anyway, let's first get out of the way. I wanted to break some news here. At least about, I wanted to share some thoughts, plus break some news on the tweet with Jason Anderson and Justin Barcia. My thoughts on it, I mean, I don't know why Jason Anderson would take Barcia out and then cuss him out after. And there's some stuff with Jason from Anaheim too that I don't agree with at all. So we will, ooh, that was a bad crash. We will talk about it all here. But yeah, apparently the AMA made Jason Anderson take down that tweet that he made at Justin Barcia, and yeah, that's about the only groundbreaking news and the thoughts on it, because yeah, there's a lot that happened at A2 that goes along with that. But first, let's talk. I'm just gonna get it out of the way. I'm talking about Hayden Deegan real quick. I wasn't going to, but I guess I will. Dax Bennick, his teammate, won the futures, but I feel like everybody wants to know about Hayden Deegan if you don't already. Hayden Deegan, I thought he got taken out by Preston Baseflug. He did not. He just did what Jet did. So if you watched the first 250 race, Jet comes out of the dragon back corner and pretty much tucks the front, and it sends him flying. As I'm struggling to get back on the track here, sends him flying. Hayden did the same thing, but it looked worse because of the fact that Preston was right there. So that was kind of Hayden's fault. I think the pressure got to Hayden, but everybody's saying that, oh, it was his first race because the nerves got to him. So how do you explain Talon Hawkins? How do you explain Casey Cochran? Because that was also their first race, and they seemed to handle it just fine. So I know the bad start had a lot to do with Hayden Deegan not getting the best result. I mean, 5th is really good, but like not getting. I think everybody expected him to come out there and just dominate, and he clearly did not. I was in the stadium, and he was super sketchy in practice. The one practice I did watch, because I watched their second qualifying session in the front row down this line right here, right next to this rhythm section. He was pulling out that triple on the tabletop. It was super sketchy the way he was doing it. But I feel like that became the preferred line, the preferred fast line throughout the night. So that's enough with Deegan in the futures. I mean, Dax Bennick, if it wasn't going to be Hayden, it was going to be Dax, honestly, and Dax Bennick won it. Had to go through Talon Hawkins and Casey Cochran, who their starts, the Husky Boys starts, were very good. So, I mean, it wasn't a surprise to see Dax win that. I was hoping Talon would win it because, you know, Talon's a good dude, and we're very close to Temecula where he lives, so anyway, that's enough of futures. I guess since we started talking about it, and a lot of my analysis comes from the 450 class, so we're going to save that for last year. I'm going to briefly touch on the 250 class, and we're just going to... Jet Lawrence is not a Triple Crown guy. That's all I'm going to say about that. But the one thing I want to talk about is Phil Nicoletti. I thought Phil Nicoletti was going to win that second race. And I honestly thought he was going to. And it was a bummer he didn't. He ended up third. Levi got him on the last lap, I believe. Styles got him with like 2 to go, I believe. Styles Robertson, the Star Racing boy, looked a lot better. I was a little worried after Anaheim won and really worried after San Diego. And nope, they looked just fine here. So maybe it was just nerves and a little bit of the track maybe not suiting their style. But it worked here, and they got first and third. Levi Kitchen wins the overall. That was super cool. And yeah, he's happy, he's stoked, but honestly, I think he kind of knew that that one was kind of given to him. I'm not taking that win away from him, but let's be real. I think if Jet doesn't have the problems he does, he probably sweeps that. So, but still, really good race for Levi Kitchen. Did what he needed to do, and as he said at the end of the night, consistency paid off. And Levi Kitchen is now a Monster Energy Supercross winner. Maybe got a little bit of a gift, but still he won. And he was consistent, and Jet was not, because Jet, I expected him to sweep it, but honestly, I was thinking of what happened to him in the Triple Crown last year, with him, going down a billion times at Arlington and then having issues at St. Louis. I know he got caught up with somebody in St. Louis, but honestly, I don't really remember what happened before that. And same thing, tracking down Hampshire in the first main, makes a crucial mistake, and like I said, just tucks the front end and gets launched on the Dragon's back. Second main, can't get the start and gets shoved off the track, and then has to come through that one. And then the third main, he does what I thought he would do the whole night, get the start and just slowly pull away. So yeah, that's my analysis on the 250 class. Not much. We got 13 minutes to talk about this wild 450 class. And I'll just start right at the top. Chase Sexton gets it done finally. Chase, fastest qualifier. I don't believe he was fastest in the first set. Who was fastest in the first? He might have been fastest both sections. I know I believe Webb got him in free practice. But other than that, I believe Chase was the fastest qualifier all day. Comes out, wins the first main pretty convincingly. I mean, he had Roxon lurking back there, but I don't care what Kenny does. Chase was going to win that, and he did. And then we come out the second main, and he tips over, and I go, well, Chase Sexton's out of this overall, but he comes back to 5th. And then comes out, does what he needs to do. There were, I believe, Tomac and Roxon were tied for the overall points, and then with like 5, and then Sexton and Anderson had 6. So there were like 4 guys that could win that overall at the end of the night, and basically whoever won that race was going to win it, and Chase won it, and pretty convincingly too. I mean, got around Anderson right after the incident we're going to talk about next, or not really next, but right after an incident that we're going to talk about here in a little bit with a certain Yamaha. Got around Jason. Had to work for that pass, though. Well, I'm finally getting this triple right here. Had to work for that pass. Got it, though, and kind of checked out from there. Can he carry this into Houston? I believe so. I hope he does, because he's only 4 points out of the championship now, and I think we're going to see some changing of the guard here in a little bit, in a few rounds. Which, honestly, I would have never expected after San Diego last week. But yeah, Jason Anderson pulls out at 2nd overall. I don't remember. I know Chase went 1-5-1. I don't remember what Anderson did. I know he won the second race, but I saw this firsthand in the stadium. but I didn't know what was going on, and I'm sure you've seen something from Justin Starling. So after Anderson won that second main, he pulled up to Starling and was talking to him. And at the time, I was watching this happen because we were in the section right above. We had basically a clear view to the first turn in that Dragon's Back. That was our view. We were right field line, up top, upper view. I like to sit nosebleed seats for these races so you can actually see the whole track. But we were up there and I saw this going on. I'm like, oh, how cool. Starling's congratulating him, but then the more the conversation went on, and especially when I watched it on TV, because they did show this on TV too. Yeah, that's not what the conversation was. So I was like, what the hell are they talking about then? Then Starling, it looked like it was a Facebook comment. Starling basically said Anderson came up to him and said, I don't give a damn about your battles between Noren and Clayson or whoever it was. Somebody else. Oh, it was Chisholm. Apparently Noren, Chisholm, and Starling were in a gnarly battle, and apparently it held up Anderson. And Starling basically said in this little, it looked like a Facebook comment. I'm not quite sure, but he basically said that he was holding his line like the AMA told him to in the morning, because the rule is for these guys that they have to, for these lappers at least, they have to hold their line and don't block the leader. And Anderson, I feel like, was blocking him. I didn't see the whole scuffle in the race. I mean, I'm sure I saw it, but I just didn't pay much attention to it. But apparently Anderson came up and cussed him out, saying, I don't care about your battles with your other riders. You gotta get out of the way. These people are paying to watch this race. And Starling told him to F off after that, which is awesome. But this works into something that happened in San Diego too. Barsha obviously got the podium and in San Diego, and somebody, David Iser from DMX Radio or whatever, asked him about the tweet, saying, had you seen the tweet? You know, he called you a bitch, and it was hilarious because Eli is full on cracking up. Anyway, Barsha claimed that after Anderson took him out in the heat race in San Diego last week, oh, yeah, that's not a good rhythm. Anyway, after Anderson took him out in the heat race last week, Anderson came and cussed him out, and it's like, okay, Jason Anderson, super cool dude, follows me on Instagram, and super chill dude, nice guy, but what, I don't understand him sometimes. Like, come on, you win a race, cuss out a lap rider, and then you take out Barsha and cuss him out. What? The logic doesn't make sense on that. So I'm not going to spend too much time because there is more to talk about. But probably one of my favorite moments from the night, and it actually made it on the Mike's Harder's Sweetest Pass of the Night on Instagram for Supercross Live. Jason Anderson taking out Cooper Webb. If Webb's going into that corner thinking Anderson's just going to let him go and round the corner, Webb was stupid in that. Webb should have known that Anderson was going to try something. Webb tried to block him, and Anderson said, I don't care, I'm going for this. And that's what he did. And there was nothing egregious on it. It was just racing. Webb needs to anticipate that, especially when you got a guy like, if you're anybody and you got Jason Anderson or Barsha or even Webb at this point, because Webb is known to rough some guys up. Maybe not as bad as Barsha and Anderson, but still, Webb's racecraft is very dirty, or not really dirty, just kind of aggressive, overly aggressive, and we'll talk about it with the Tomac situation. But he races a little bit aggressive, but he's sometimes, I mean, when you got those guys behind you, you just have to anticipate something. Like, don't leave the door open. Do not leave the door open. Like, Chase left the door open in San Diego, and it costed him. He ended up on the ground with Barsha. Webb, I mean, he kind of closed the door, but not really. He just left a little bit of room for Anderson, and that probably cost Webb the overall. So yeah, that's enough with Anderson and Webb, that situation. Ken Roczen, briefly touch on him before we get to the big topic here because I'm kind of running out of time. Ken Roczen gets Hep Suzuki their very first podium, which is pretty cool. He rode well all night. Thanked himself on the podium. That was kind of weird, but okay. And he was doing this huge line right here. He was going triple onto the table and then triple onto the next table. I saw him do it the first lap of the first main and go, oh my god, that's fast. Or at least it looked fast. And that line, I mean, Webb got 4th overall and Tomac got 7th overall, I believe. Ferrandis got me some RM fantasy points, thank God. And I picked Chase to win, so I got 2 picks right in RM fantasy, thank God. Because I'm getting better in RM fantasy, and we can talk about that maybe in another video. But, yeah, I'm gonna jumble Webb, Tomac, that rhythm that Kenny was doing into one. While we talk, I'm just gonna talk about all 3 of them at the same time, especially Tomac and Webb at the same time. Oh boy, like I said earlier in the video, I think we're gonna see a changing in the guard, and this is exactly why. Eli Tomac, the 3rd main event, I don't remember. They might have been like 3rd. I think they were like 3rd and 4th. Yeah, they had to have been 3rd and 4th at the time. Eli tried everything to get around Webb. And by the way, Tomac and Roczen showed what real racing was in the 2nd main when they battled. Because that's real racing. They were racing each other hard, but they weren't trying to take out their front wheel or try to take people out. Kenny and Eli were just racing hard the 2nd moto. Then we get to the 3rd moto, and Tomac gets up behind Webb, and Webb is blocking him. He's not really cross-jumping him, but he's blocking him, and honestly, I didn't see it in the same. I think I'm watching Chase in the same, just going, oh, don't blow it, Chase, but I didn't catch this till it actually happened, because I did see this whole thing in real life. I watched Tomac go down in real time. Yeah, but Webb is not cross-jumping, but he's blocking on the long straights here, blocking Tomac. Tomac had to check up 3 times before this crash. And then Tomac, 1 lap, goes for the big 3-3 line out of this turn. Cases it super hard the first time. I watched that. Or I might have watched this whole battle, but just don't remember it until I watched it on TV. Because, God, there was so much going on in this race. And then they come around again, and the whole time, he's not really crossing over on him, but he's like making Eli check up, and it's clearly pissing off Eli. And I think Eli's impatience kind of showed in the crash, but makes him check up there before the finish line, just holding him up, basically. He was holding up Eli the whole time. And I watched this at the broadcast after, holding up Eli, just holding up Eli. And then they go around to that section again. Eli gets the table triple line clean. It's like, okay. And then once again off on the damn straights going across the start, holding him up again. And Eli is getting impatient at this time. So they come back. Looks like Eli's looking to set something up. He's on this side of the whoops. And not doing that, but he's blitzing the whoops. Webb jumps. Eli hits this, goes right into the top block, and that was massive. That was a massive crash. And I think, yeah, Tomac should have never... Yeah, that's Tomac's fault. But I think Webb had something to do with that crash. I honestly think Cooper Webb had something to do with Eli crashing. Obviously, Eli needs to chill. He needed to back off. And even there was a moment in the stadium, because I was there watching it, There's a moment, I believe it was like first or second lap. They don't catch this on TV. But Webb blocked Tomac to the point where Tomac couldn't jump the big triple going into the sand section. It's like, come on, Eli. Or, come on, Webb. He's faster than you. I know you're doing everything you can to hold him off, but he's faster than you. Come on. Like, don't want to buy easy, but also don't cross-jump, don't cross over, don't be dirty. That's all I ask of Cooper Webb. Oh, God. Sorry, guys, I've been sick. Eli got a little impatient. I think Eli's impatience caused that accident, and that was scary. I didn't think he was going to get up from that, and he got up, and it was like, okay. And I was watching him a little bit. I didn't know at the time. I'm not so oh, what the hell? I'm not some bike setup expert. I can't tell when a bike's bent unless it's visible. But I mean, Eli got up and rode, and even before that, like in the other two mains, Eli didn't look good at all day. I'm not saying maybe not look like, it's not like, oh, Eli was horrible this week. He should have got, no. He was good, but he wasn't A1 good. He wasn't San Diego good. Like, at no point did I ever think Eli, except for that last main before the crash, and I think, oh, he's coming through the wind. He's coming through the wind. Nope. Didn't think that at all. The guys were just faster this week, especially Chase. And yeah, now he's only got a 4-point lead. And honestly, we haven't, other than Thunder Valley that one year, we haven't really seen Eli have a big crash. And even that Thunder Valley crash wasn't huge. He just planted his arms wrong when he landed. So I think we're going to see a different Eli in Houston. I don't think he wins Houston at all unless something changes. Maybe he comes out fired up and just like, hey, like, I'm going to come out here and prove something. I don't think so. I don't know, man. This got a lot more interesting. We went from, my God, Tomac's going to go 17-0 or Tomac's just going to dominate this year to, I'm not sure what's going to happen anymore. Like, I'm glad I didn't pick him in fantasy this time, this round here for the Triple Crown. I honestly thought of it, but Chase got fastest qualifier and swayed me. Thank God I picked Chase. But anyway, yeah, I think you're going to see Eli ride a little bit differently in Houston. Eli probably won't do this, but I think Eli should go clean, well, not clean out Webb, just take Webb high and take him down. Show Webb that he's here to party too. Because Cooper needs a taste of his own medicine now. Like, he kind of got one the first main event, but like not really. But yeah, I think Eli still got a good shot for the championship, but like, I don't think Chase is going to make it easy. I don't think Cooper's going to make it easy. Cooper's going to keep riding like he does. That's about all I have. So, not as in-depth as maybe you thought it was going to be. But, I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the Eli crash, of the, look at my lap time compared to everybody. The Eli crash, Webb's racecraft. Everything from the night. Let me know what you guys think of it, and if I missed something that we didn't talk about, I'm so sorry. It's kind of late here in California. I'm trying to get to bed. Anyway, thank you guys so much. There's the track that I raced up there. Please like and subscribe and comment your opinion on Anaheim 2. And who do you guys have picked for Houston? 250 East is coming up. I might or might not do a preview show, to be determined. But yeah, who do you think is going to win the 450 class in Anaheim? And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this. It was a nice talking about the race with you guys. And yeah, see you later.